Hello, everyone. This is Michael Lean, and welcome to another Bristlecone Broadcast. Today, I have my colleague Ramji Mani with me. He has over 25 years of experience. He's worked with, I think, over 20 Fortune 500 companies in the planning space, 50 to 60 mid-cap companies. He used to work at I2, which is the king of planning that became Blue Yonder. And he has a wealth of experience in planning. He is our resident expert and the reason why I have him talking with me today. Today, we will be talking about Kinaxis and the top 3 reasons why you should consider this software for your planning goals, but specifically concurrency, rapid start, and what if planning. Those are the 3 reasons why somebody should consider Kinaxis. So I wanted to turn it over to you. Concurrency, what is it and why is that important?
So concurrency is because Kinaxis is one data model. Concurrency means that it is an in-memory model, and any change I make in my demand scenarios, maybe because there's an uptake on orders or there's a gut feel of a salesperson that they can sell 10,000 more widgets, it is immediately reflected in my supply plan, and I'll be able to tell whether I can satisfy the demand. On the flip side, concurrency also helps that if I fail in my supply side, I am having problems with my suppliers. They're not able to meet the demand. Immediately, I can see the impact on my orders and on my fulfillment and be able to react to it rather than wait for something to happen. So that is concurrency. Any change in the demand side or the planning or the supply side or the inventory is immediately reflected across the model end to end. And that helps a planner when they walk into a meeting so that they know exactly what they need to do to overcome the problem situation.
Do you find that a lot of organizations don't have this view or concurrency? It seems like that would be table stakes for planning, wouldn't it?
It exists in some form or other, but the problem is that most planners like to work with Microsoft gift to mankind Excel, and Excel doesn't have this, right? And usually you find that the early adopters for any technology are larger companies where they use supply chain as a weapon to overcome their competition.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you find more of these advanced planning solutions like Kinaxis being deployed, because it is able to make you differentiate yourself in the organization, and it has been widely accepted that hey, there are the best companies in the world use Kinaxis to a large extent.
Got it. So this sounds like an amazingly powerful tool, but typically that takes with a long setup time. Now, you did mention it has a rapid start. So what does that mean? How rapid is rapid?
Great question. So typically advanced planning solutions, when they started off, programs could last 12 to 18 months. And even in my previous role, I have seen programs which go over a couple of years. But I think in the last 18 months, Kinaxis have launched this Planning One Rapid Start program, which delivers value in 14 to 16 weeks to a customer. So it is not a subset of Kinaxis, it is the actual platform. But what they've done is they have given certain templates which help you implement it rapidly. It does not have full-blown integration back with the ERP system, whether it's SAP, Oracle, or Info, but it's
Mm-hmm.
able to do your scenario planning, do your supply planning, demand planning, and also it helps in getting the users adapted to this new way of planning. At Bristlecone, we have implemented about 6 to 8 of these programs worldwide, and it's been quite successful. User accepted, and then obviously you can start building on it as and when your users get familiar with the tool, understand the power of the tool, and understand how easy it is to build and be prepared for an SNOP meeting.
Got it. And you mentioned a few names there that we're very familiar with, SAP, Oracle, Infor. How does Kinaxis play with these ecosystems?
So it's very interesting that most Kinaxis implementations are on top of SAP install base. SAP and Info and Oracle you need from a financial angle, from a legal angle, from an ERP, from being the single source of data, whereas the planning is done outside of these ERP systems. They take they take the master data, they take the dynamic data which comes in, they do the plan, and back goes into SAP. I'm just using the term SAP.
Mhm.
Goes planned orders, stock transfer orders, distribution orders, purchase orders, and that is all executed within the ERP system because that's where you want to be able to receive stuff and do everything. So it is this advanced planning system has always uh, been on top of an ERP system.
Got it. And that leads to the last reason why somebody should look at Kinaxis, what if planning. So what is that and why can't they do that with some of the tools that maybe their ERP has or Excel?
So typically, if you look at ERP is it assumes infinite capacity and infinite
Mhm.
supplies. So it's an MRP run which goes and says, yada yada, I'll do all this, and this is what it is. But obviously, nothing is infinite in this world, right? Everything is finite. Um, so those modelings you can do in Kinaxis, where you can say that I only have so much of supply I can get in from a supplier. There's only so much capacity I have to run the schedule. And what if analysis is very powerful because I could say that I have multi levels of inventory across multiple DCs, and I want to reduce inventory in one because of cost pressures.
Mhm.
If I simulate that what if, it will tell me what's going to be the impact on my customer orders, customer service levels, or my suppliers. Similarly, if I'm procuring something from a suppliers, let's say I'm a pharma company and I'm getting my additives from my suppliers, and if some suppliers says that they cannot give this batch on time, then I can immediately put a scenario in Kinaxis saying I've got short supply. It'll immediately show me what is the impact on my final delivery of orders, and what is the impact. And if I like it and my management likes it as a planner, I can then go and commit it to my salespeople. So similarly, if I get a new sales order, large quantity come in saying end of the year, hey, we want this, I can immediately simulate it in a what if analysis saying, what's the impact? Will I be able to do it? I can do available to promise. I'll be able to say, okay, I may not be able to give you 10,000, but I can give you 6,000
Mhm.
in December. I can give you 4,000 in January. And if the customer agrees, I can actually freeze that. So that's the power of what in analysis. And it's a complete solution. It has demand planning, supply planning, inventory planning, and on top of it, S&OP, sales and operation planning. And it just helps the planner's life, makes the life a lot better, a lot easier in terms
Got it.
of um, improves the quality of life. How's that? Work-life balance.
So speaking of that, I know you've done probably over 100 Kinaxis implementations at this point. How often have they regretted that decision?
I won't say everyone has been good. There have been some pushbacks from some customers, and it's mainly because of the internal change management.
Mm.
The as I said, people are so used to Excel and pivot tables that suddenly something which is much simpler feels that they are out of control. So yes, there have been pushback from large clients, from small clients who want to go who because of user adoption. So that's something again strong, which Kinaxis is now talking about how to do very focused training for end users and how to increase adoption of the solution by doing change management as part of the process. It does require a little bit of change management.
So let me rephrase it then. If you have proper change management, and you have Kinaxis, and you do those two things correctly, how often do they regret the decision?
I don't think they would regret the decision at all, right? And it will be very successful.
That's fantastic. So Ramji, thank you. Thank you to everyone listening for tuning into another Bristlecone broadcast. If you have any Kinaxis questions or anything around supply chain, you know you can come to us. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.